Well, you're here because you filled out a survey about a guy and he scored a C. In many important ways, this guy is falling short. Welcome to the Strong Brew, where you get answers to questions you're not supposed to ask. These are some things you may want to know about the man in your life. If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure? Will he try and use money to control you? Will he share housework or just make you do it all? In fights, when he gets angry, does he get aggressive? During intimacy, does he understand that no means no? Is he jealous, suspicious, or possessive? Will his attitude towards you change after having kids? Will he treat your parents with respect? What if you have conflicts with his parents? We tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. These are things nobody else will tell you, things that are important for your future. This is a safe space for truth. No judgment, no platitudes, no login, no payment either. Our questions are from real life, but our answers come from science. Now, I built this thing, me and my husband, and honestly, we built it and we live it. We are both Stanford grads, we both have worked at Google, and we've been happily together since 1998. Along the way, we've added a son, now 13, and 4 dogs. We are genuine folks. If you're a woman trying to understand any man in your life, here is how it works. Go to www.thestrongbrew.life. Click on the Understand a Guy button there. Answer 10 questions about him. Watch a video tailored to your guy. That's all there is to it. It is completely anonymous, no login, no payment, no games, no manipulation. This analysis is obtained by combining solid trait psychology with cutting edge AI ML. We represent each person's personality with what is known as a feature vector. This has 10 elements, so our data is effectively 10 dimensional data. In case you're wondering how we can infer so much from just 10 questions, well, 10 dimensional data is very complex. There is a lot you can learn from that level of detail.
Okay, I think that does it for the preamble. Now let's plunge in. Let's start with this guy in his career. Will he go far or just talk big?
He isn't just talking, he really means business and is likely to achieve a lot in his career. His drive and sharp thinking push him to work hard for what he wants, and he doesn't let setbacks shake him much. He's not very organized, so there may be some messy moments, but he doesn't let that stop him.
Can he bounce back from failure?
When things don't go as planned at work, he stays calm and collected. He doesn't break down easily. Instead of getting emotional or lashing out, he'll quietly withdraw, think things through, and get back on track. He isn't one to lean on others for comfort, so expect him to solve problems on his own.
What do people at work think of him? Do they like him?
People at work often respect his intelligence and hard work, but liking him is a different story. He's blunt and can be rude, which rubs some people the wrong way. Because he rarely shows kindness and keeps his feelings to himself, he doesn't make many close friends at work.
If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure?
If you shine in your career, he won't show much pride or excitement, but he won't get insecure either. He's not the type to celebrate your success warmly or make a fuss. Instead, he'll stay focused on his own path. Don't expect big praise. He keeps those feelings locked up and mostly to himself.
What if you start earning more than him?
He probably won't feel jealous or secretly resent you if you earn more than him. His main focus is on his own journey, not on comparing himself to others, even his partner. He'll accept the situation quietly and move on, keeping any feelings to himself.
Next, let's talk about how he is with money. Does he overspend? Is he reckless with money?
He doesn't plan or organize well, so his way of handling money can be a bit messy. He may not carefully budget or keep track of expenses, and sometimes he might spend without much thought. If you like things neat and steady, this might bother you.
Does he show off and pretend to be richer than he is?
He lives as he pleases without worrying too much about what others think, but he doesn't try to show off or pretend to be richer than he is. Instead, he focuses on his own goals and pays little attention to appearances or fancy lifestyles. Sometimes, because he isn't organized, he might overspend or make sudden choices with money. But it isn't about impressing anyone.
Is he too generous, too stingy, or just right?
He isn't very open hearted or generous, so don't expect kindness or warm gestures, either with money or his thoughts. He doesn't naturally offer help or give freely. Instead, he keeps to himself and doesn't think much about making others feel special. Being with him might feel a bit lonely if you want someone who is caring and generous.
Will he use money to try and control you?
He isn't secretive or controlling about money, but he isn't very open either. He mostly keeps to himself, sharing little about his financial situation unless he needs to. He simply doesn't pay much attention to these things, so you might be left guessing about where things stand.
Let's see how this guy is with sharing housework. Will he share housework or just make you do it?
He's likely to believe housework isn't really his job and may expect you to take care of most of it. He is busy with his own work and doesn't think much about chores or daily tasks at home. If the house gets messy, he won't worry about it or step in often.
Will he help you or just boss you around and tell you what to do?
He's not likely to jump in and do chores or change diapers. Instead, he may just watch or give advice from the side. You shouldn't expect him to roll up his sleeves and pitch in unless you ask directly, and even then, his help might be half hearted or short lived. He's focused on his own work and goals, so everyday home tasks aren't high on his list.
Now let's see about how this guy is during fights. In fights, does he try to understand your views or just win the fight?
He is more likely to argue his own point than to truly try to understand your side. When you bring up your feelings or a problem, he often jumps straight to defending himself or telling you why he's right. It can be hard to have emotional conversations with him because he doesn't naturally put himself in your shoes.
Does he become aggressive when angry?
When he's angry, he might come across as blunt or say things that feel rude, but he's not likely to yell or get physically aggressive. Instead of shouting, he often withdraws and may give you the silent treatment or short replies that sting. You won't see big scenes, but you may feel ignored or pushed away when he's upset.
Does he have a bad temper?
He doesn't get angry very quickly. He usually stays calm and doesn't explode over small things. But if he does get upset, he might show it by becoming distant or giving cold, blunt replies instead of shouting. This isn't a major red flag for you, as he won't create a storm at home.
Will he say sorry and accept his mistakes?
He doesn't find it easy to say sorry or take responsibility when something goes wrong. Instead of admitting his mistake, he may avoid the topic or even hint that you're at fault. He's likely to dodge blame and not offer the comforting words you hope for.
Next, let's talk about intimacy and physical chemistry. During intimacy, does he respect your boundaries? Does he get that no means no?
He might not fully understand your boundaries unless you make them very clear and firm. He tends to focus on his own needs and can be blunt, so gentle hints may not work with him. He isn't quick to pick up on emotional signals, so being direct is important.
If you are not in the mood for intimacy, will he react badly?
He usually doesn't take it personally if you're not in the mood for intimacy. Instead of getting upset or sulking, he tends to move on without making a big deal out of it. You won't face much drama in these moments, just a lack of warmth or deeper connection.
Can you trust him not to shame you or share your private moments, maybe love letters, photos, or videos, even after a breakup or a bad fight?
Yes, you can generally trust him to keep private moments private and not use them against you or to embarrass you later. He's not interested in drama or making you feel bad on purpose. You might miss warmth and emotional closeness, but you won't need to fear disrespect or exposure.
Is he loyal or is he likely to want to have affairs?
He is generally faithful and not easily distracted by other women. His focus is strong and he doesn't chase after attention or excitement outside the relationship. If honesty and loyalty matter most to you, this is a positive sign, even if warmth feels missing.
Will he be jealous, suspicious, and try to control you?
No, he isn't the type to act jealous, possessive, or always suspicious. He's focused on his own interests and doesn't spend time worrying about what you're doing or who you're with. You won't find him checking up on you, acting controlling, or making rules about your life.
This guy says he is protective in a good way. Is he actually just being possessive?
No, his protective nature isn't really about being controlling. In fact, he isn't one to step in and try to manage your choices or tell you what to do. You won't see him acting like a guardian or trying to control your actions in the name of caring for you.
Now, onto the topic of kids and how this guy will be as a father. If you guys have kids, will he make you do most of the work?
He's likely to expect you to do most of the parenting work instead of seeing it as a team effort. He usually stays focused on his own activities and may not step up for daily childcare unless you ask. Shared planning, bedtime stories, or family teamwork won't come to him on his own. You'll need to keep reminding him or set clear expectations.
Kids are very messy. Will he lose his temper with them?
When the kids mess up or get upset, he will usually stay calm and not lose his temper. He isn't quick to yell or make a big scene, but he might become quiet and pull away emotionally. You'll likely be the one giving comfort and guidance when things go wrong.
If you guys have kids, will he still support your career?
He won't actively support your role as both a mother and your own person. Instead, he tends to focus on his own goals and a path without paying much attention to your needs or growth. You'll need to ask clearly for support because he doesn't offer it naturally.
Will this man say one thing early on, maybe while dating, and then later, after kids and marriage, change his tune and try to make you give up your career?
He isn't likely to ask you to quit your career after you have a child, but that doesn't mean he'll be active in supporting you either. He's mostly focused on his own world, so he won't interfere much with your choices or put pressure on you to give up your work. However, he also won't be your biggest cheerleader or help balance family and career. He expects you to manage on your own.
Next, let's see how this guy treats your parents. Will he be respectful with your parents?
He's not likely to treat your parents with real warmth. He'll probably be polite enough to avoid problems, but don't expect friendly talks, caring gestures, or close relationships. If family bonding is close to your heart, it will be up to you to build those connections, since he's happy to keep interactions simple and on the surface. He's not the kind of man who tries hard to adjust to your family. Instead, he usually expects others to work around him.
What if your family creates stress or interferes a bit in your lives?
If your family creates stress or interferes, he will usually handle it calmly and not make things worse by losing his temper. He doesn't like drama and tends to keep his distance, so you won't see shouting or angry scenes from him. Instead, he might step back, give short replies, or avoid the situation altogether, which can sometimes leave you feeling unsupported.
Then let's analyze the role this guy's family will play in your life. Is this man modern with you but a completely different person when other people, say his parents or bosses, are around?
He may act modern and let you make your own choices when you're alone together, but in front of his relatives, he's likely to expect you to fit into the traditional supportive wife role. Because he doesn't push for change or stand up for you, he'll quietly go along with family expectations and may want you to do the same. You could find yourself asked to follow old customs or behave in ways that aren't true to yourself, especially at family gatherings.
If there is tension between you and his parents, will he support you?
If there's tension with his family, he's most likely to stay out of it rather than support you or take your side. He avoids emotional drama and doesn't step in to defend or comfort, so you may feel alone dealing with any problems. In some cases, he may even quietly go along with his family's wishes instead of backing you up.
Say you have a conflict with his mother, what will this guy do?
He isn't really a mummy's boy. He doesn't depend heavily on his mother or stay closely attached. However, when there's a conflict between you and his mother, he's unlikely to jump in and choose your side. If you value a partner who stands up for you, you might feel unsupported in these moments.
Will he share all the private details of your relationship with his mother or sister?
He isn't the type to share every detail of your fights or private life with his mother or sister. He usually keeps things to himself and doesn't talk much about personal matters, even with family. While you miss out on shared problem solving, you can trust that your personal life stays private.
Now let's zoom out and put it all together.
So that's the story. This guy scores a C. In many important ways, This guy is falling short of the standard we would want. Being in a relationship with this man feels like living alongside someone who is focused on his own world. Day in and day out, you might feel a bit alone. Managing most home and family matters yourself while he works on his own goals.